To Ecowise, where we ease tax burden and unlock clean wealth for individuals and their businesses alike. I am your host, Ibabuchi Lawrence Ede. Today we are discussing a challenging situation that many of you might find familiar, and that is receiving a hefty tax assessment notice and feeling unsure on what next to do. Recently, I encountered someone who refused to pick up a call from a number he labeled FIRS, that is Federal Inland Revenue Service. Out of curiosity, I learned that he'd been served an assessment notice for almost 17 million naira. Now, here is the kicker. He decided to abandon the company he used for the transactions, hoping to avoid the repercussion. I know some of you might relate this feeling of wanting to escape, but let me tell you, running away is not the solution. Now, when you ignore tax assessments, you might be underestimating the consequences. There is something called removing the veil of incorporation. And that means that the tax authorities can look beyond the company escape and hold the directors personally accountable. Now, if the company can't pay its debt, those debts can be rolled over to you as an individual. Imagine your bank account, both personal and for businesses, being frozen because of unpaid tax liabilities. I'm sure that's the situation you will definitely want to avoid. So what should you do when you have this kind of scenario? Instead of abandoning ship, so what should you do when you have this kind of scenario? Instead of abandoning your company or running away, embrace the problem and tackle it head on. And this is how to go about it. Number one, engage a tax solicitor. This is your first step. A qualified tax solicitor can request critical documents such as your bank statements and transaction histories. He will help you to prepare the necessary paperwork. Meet with your tax authority. Your solicitor will guide you in approaching the appropriate tax authorities. Together, you will need to clarify what your actual liability is. Getting this right is very crucial. If you don't determine your true liability, you could be making the situation even worse. Think of your tax obligation, not as enemy, but as a challenge to overcome. By facing the issue with the right support, you can negotiate a resolution and regain peace of mind. Thank you for tuning in to Ecowise. If you have found this episode very helpful, please share it with others who might be facing similar tax dilemma. We will be back next time with more insight. Remember, confronting the problem is the first step towards the solution in the world of tax.